Welcome to News Across the Galaxy, where we talk all things LA Galaxy. I'm Bryant. Eddie's in here somewhere. Say hello, Eddie.
Hi. I waved. Sorry.
we got Spen Bayless. Say what's up. We got Edgar, new father Edgar.
That's right.
And
at you from the Galactic Rim.
We have a special guest today, ladies and gentlemen. The very first Galaxian president, Ozzy Gomez. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yes.
Bienvenido.
Thank you for being here, Ozzy. Before anything, man, we got to give a proper congratulations now that Edgar's actually on the screen.
Yeah.
Papa Edgar, congrats.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, Edgar.
It's been quite a journey. Tell you what. We
Featured
still have to get him home, but he's doing good. He's getting stronger every day, and soon we'll be having him home. And then I won't be able to sleep anymore.
He'll be throwing on that Galaxy kid in no time.
That's right.
Thank you for experience. Doesn't end at 18 years. Okay, it's a lot longer than that. Okay.
In this day and age, yes.
You're gonna end up when he turns 18. Yeah.
There, your first lesson. Hey, so look, as Brian said, Ozzy was the first president of the Galaxians, but I was born before 96, and I grew up watching Liga MX. Ozzy, from what I understand, you're from Argentina. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Before the Galaxy, what brought you into the sport? It was what teams did you support, or were you part of any other supporter groups? Obviously before the Galaxy, I doubt that the Galaxy was your first team. If it was, that's pretty cool too.
I was born in just outside Buenos Aires, Argentina. I started playing soccer since I don't know when, because that's a natural thing over there. So it was, I cannot remember the first day that I kicked a ball, or because we always played on the streets and everywhere, right? My team over there was the Independiente de Avellaneda. So El Rey de Copas, as they call him, for all the trophies that we have for many years. Not so much in the last few years; they're not doing well, but hopefully we'll get better. And I live in a neighborhood where there are a lot of soccer players. I knew a lot of soccer players. I even played with soccer players on the street that they end up in the national team. It's crazy. It was I don't know if in Avellaneda there are two teams. What they call it, Racing Club, and Independiente. Their stadium. They are one block apart.
Oh wow!
Yeah. And so the rivalry, of course, it was there. So the first rivalry in Argentina is River Plate and Boca Juniors, but the second rivalry is Independiente and Racing Club. Yeah, and I moved to the United States in '78. Waiting for many years, getting involved in AYSO for many years, and playing with the kids and helping the kids, my kids and other kids, refereeing also, and it came the time where we finally had a team, and I was very excited. So jump in to be the part of the soccer that was missing at that time, which would be fans, right? They need so bad. So I was very excited once we got the Galaxy was formed and being part of it and joining the Galaxy. Yeah,
nice. I gotta scratch out some of my notes. Edgar told me you were a Boca fan, so I gotta change it here.
Oh,
Dale vos.
That's bullshit. And that's all they call the bullshit. The bostero.
Puro bostero.
All right, so we all know that the supporter groups is a big part of the football slash soccer community. My question to you is, Ozzy, when did the first idea about creating the Galaxians come about, and who were the people involved?
Yeah, the idea came by searching around on the internet and see if there was anybody around that was involved with Galaxy at that time. And I don't know what type of program we have or what type of social network we got, but I hooked up with a group of guys and girls that they were the first group in the Galaxy. And then there was a one person also that was um, saying that he started the Galaxian, but I can dispute that because the Galaxians were started after he was put out of the Galaxian. So I don't want to give them. So, but I remember first names. I remember Paul Antonison. I think it was his name. He was very very famous for his hi hat and Mickey Mouse gloves. They were all the very colorful people. There were one person that would show up dressed like a chupacabra, and I have never seen his face. Okay, but he was there. I don't know his name or I've never seen his face, but he was there every game, and. So we had a lot of fun. The idea was to have a group, an inclusive group, because we were from all over the place. I mean, we were people from different ages, different countries, and cultures, but we all got together just to support the team that we always wanted to have. Right.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
all the person that I remember is Linda Pickle. Linda Pickle has been a person been there from day one with the Galaxy, and she's still there, and she will be there until either the Galaxy or she died. Okay. I don't think she'll never leave.
Nah, I argue that she should have had a statue before Beckham.
You know what?
Yeah.
She needs. Yeah, they need to at least call a section of the stadium with her name, because she's been a Galaxy supporter. I can tell you one thing for sure. There's no one that will never have as many pictures of the Galaxy players as Linda Pickle. Okay, she
That's
wants
right.
a million.
That's a fact.
Okay, in every. It's incredible.
Yeah, her nickname when we were with the Galaxians at the beginning was Snapshot. I think it's still applies to this day, right?
Lovely lady. I love her.
She
Yeah, she
is
is
the de
awesome.
facto Galaxy historian.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, and she keeps a lot of other things, a lot of memorabilia from the Galaxy. Other names: Dan, Scott, Commandante Scott. He was great, great guy, and they were helping me basically getting into all, trying to get people in, because one of the things. Let's do it this way. We we formed the Galaxians. Maybe an hour, 2 hours later, we move into the Rose Bowl where they were introducing the team. And I remember at that time, Andrew Shue was one of the players from, and and he said something that really struck me. He said, "Well, if you guys bring 5 people, if each of you will bring 5 people into the stadium, we're going to have a successful team here." And I took it to heart because it says, yeah, it's nice to have fun, it's nice to go, but we need to do a little work and we need to bring people in if we want to have the team to be successful and survive. Okay. Um, it happens with other teams. Later on, they couldn't make it and they folded because they couldn't get people and on the stands. But it happened with the Galaxy, and I'm glad that later on more groups join in and they start doing their things. That's very nice. Yeah. So that was a brief story of the beginning of the Galaxy. I'm sorry I cannot remember the last names of all the person that were
Oh,
there.
that
And all the names, Margie, Bañuelos, and others. Yeah, and Larissa. And it's been many other people that were very nice people there. Some are still there. Some.
that's okay. We have the most important one here.
You
Oh,
got the OG.
I'm enjoying retirement, but who knows? I mean, I might go back at any time.
So, Ozzy,
Yeah,
when you first started the Galaxians,
yeah,
what would you say the goal was as far as expectations for the members and the culture that you were trying to develop and cultivate with the group?
yeah, yeah. There were a lot of bad rep about the soccer fans at that time. As hooligans, everybody was worried about how things were going to be at every game. The media, of course, they were looking for something bad to happen so they can, feed on it and creating, bringing stories from all over the world that will happen just before the season started. And so there were a lot of a lot of we had a very bad reputation, and one of the things that we wanted to do is to change that. Because they said, "Come on, I mean, and we can bring all the good things about it and leave all the crap outside." I mean, we know that there's a lot of crap in soccer fans, and there's a lot of things that they shouldn't belong. In a stadium, and especially when you have kids, when you have families going, and so we need to leave all those things out. So we managed to have a really nice group of people that were safe, that they were. I'm not going to say that we're nice to the opponent's team because we were as obnoxious as we can be. Uh, but we were safe. I mean, so safe that they allow us to have our section right above the tunnel where the opponents will be walking out of it. And remember, you see, especially in South America, you see this long sleeve that goes almost to the center of the stadium just to protect the team
Yeah.
from being tossed anything that they can have in their hand. But in our case, no. There were words said, and there were funny things done, but never anything, and never violence. That was not part of our group. So we wanted to change all that. We wanted to make sure that we can have fun, that we can be inclusive, that we can have everybody that wants to join us have fun and make sure that they don't create any trouble. They were welcome to join our club. However, there were some situations, especially in the beginning, where the Pasadena Police Department were confused because they were relating banging drums and making a lot of noise with trouble. So, and there were other people. There were other people that were not used to that, so they were getting annoyed by somebody banging the drum next to them. So they were not very happy about it. Sometimes the police will come and pull some of us out. And so at one point, we needed to do something about it. We had a meeting with the police department, Pasadena Police Department, and we basically told them, they just leave us a section for us to do whatever we need to do, okay? And we control what we do. Don't worry about it. If we need your help, we'll let you know. I mean, okay, so it got better after that. For some reason, yeah, they really bought into that. So we start having a lot more fun that way.
Yeah. Speaking about asking somebody to give you a section, who in
Yeah.
particular did you have to talk to about starting the Galaxians, and how did that meeting go? Like in the front office, who did you have to talk to about that?
I talked to, at that time, his name was Ron Acosta, and he was the PR person for the Galaxy. You remember at that time it was a very small organization. It was just a couple of people dealing tickets. I think the tickets were dealt by with Ticketmaster only, except for a group with when we will go and 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 bought the ticket in advance, and then sell the tickets on our own. The Ron Acosta was the PR person, and one day he told us, guys, you guys are my tool to promote this team. So as long as you do the things get along with it, we're going to have a great relationship. And it was in the beginning. It was a really nice relationship with the team. Of course, they want us to buy tickets. Okay. And I have to run my credit card and buy those tickets and bring people. And sometimes I have to eat some of those tickets because I couldn't sell them. Okay.
Wow.
They won't take them back. They won't take them back. They will not take the ticket back. But yeah, but I was telling you in the beginning when Andrew said everybody will bring 5 people, and I decided to bring as many people as I could, about 50 or 60 people from work, friends, family members, and we all. But we made a big banner at that time that I believe the Galaxy office they still have that picture with the big Galaxy banner. But I think one thing is to have fun, bring the group, but the other thing is to make money and make sure that the team will succeed by selling tickets, right? So,
All right.
yeah.
All right. So obviously they were named the Galaxians, and now we have more supporter groups. I think next was Riot Squad, then it was Angel City Brigade, and now Outlaws. Before you guys became the Galaxians, were there any kind of voting or meeting? Did you guys have
Yeah.
any other names in mind before you guys actually landed on Galaxians?
Yeah, we voted on the name, and one of the other names that came to mind was the Space Cadets.
Oh.
That would be very embarrassing. And but yeah, we voted, as I was telling you before. We voted just a few hours before the Galaxy team was introduced. So the Galaxians were in existence technically before the Galaxy was ever introduced. So, and yeah, and that's why the day that I became the person, the Galaxian was there for.
I'm glad you were with Galaxians.
And you mentioned,
Yeah.
you mentioned different groups, but there was another group that you're missing. I think two more groups. Edgar, you might help me out. The Ultras.
That was the Ultras. That was the second group. I
That
remember.
was the second group, and then after that there was a group mainly when Cienfuegos came into the team.
Yeah.
And I don't remember. They were wearing blue.
Yeah, I think it was like Barra Azul or something like that.
Yeah.
And they were around up until the time that Cienfuegos retired, and then they just
They just,
either disappeared or they joined other groups.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So there were a few other groups. Yeah. And others who
So,
might not know that might existed, or who knows.
so that was one of our questions was about other Galaxy supporters groups, and we were able to name most of like the real prevalent ones. But something a lot of people don't know about is the story of the Ultras and how that came about to be, and how they just disappeared after one season.
Well, the person that was involved in the Galaxian that I was telling you that he was voted out was the person that started the Ultras, and he also was voted uh, taken out of that group, as I understand. Yeah, they were a little more radical, a little more tough, and one of the things that I remember well is when they were criticizing Mexican team, the Mexican player that came before, not Hernandez, but Hermosillo, Carlos Hermosillo.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
That's my guy. I used to love Hermosillo.
Carlos Hermosillo, he came in, as a lead scorer, a Mexican league scorer at that time, and he played a few games, and he wasn't scoring anything. So we were supporting of him. The ultras were against him. At one point, they were cussing at him and telling all kind of stuff. So he was very disappointed with that group. And something funny happened after that. We want to go into that later on. We'll go.
I remember, as far as the ultras is concerned, that one time there was even a discussion between the Galaxians and the ultras that made it to the radios. I remember we were invited to the radio station with El Veloz Gonzalez. I remember.
Yes.
And you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that well. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. I just have that hazy memory.
That was related with the thing with Carlos Hermosillo. He played 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, no score. 4 games, no score. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games, 10 games, and he wasn't scoring.
Wow.
So, but we saw. I mean, I personally saw the frustration of the guy. I mean, the poor guy. I mean, he wanted to score. He will leave every game frustrated. He will get into press conference and show his frustration. And so we decided to do something. See, how can cycle this guy and make him believe that he can score, right? So one day I had a little cabin in the mountains in Big Bear. And one day I was off-roading with my little Suzuki Jeep, and I got in this area where there used to be a mine gold that they were blasting. And as I was walking around, I saw this stone, and it had a resemblance of a face with an open mouth. And I said, hey, this look like this guy is saying or yelling a goal or something like that. So I said, oh, we'll do something with this. So the following week or during the week, we went to one of the Galaxy practices. We saw Hermosillo. We gave this and we told them that this is the Golazo stone. And we gave him a certificate, and we told them that on the following Saturday he will score his first goal. And I mean, this ahead of time. So we told them that he will be scoring the first goal Saturday, right? And Saturday came, and he scored, right? So he scored the goal. So he was all happy, come to our section,
Yeah.
celebrating. We're so happy. I mean, you can't imagine. I mean, this guy comes played 10 games, didn't score, and we told him he was going to score next Saturday. He scored. Yeah, 60 seconds later, he scored the second goal.
Ooh, yes.
So that's when he went to the other group that was on the opposite side of the stadium, to the ultras, and gave him the yeah. And that's how things was blown out of proportion, because the other guys were very they got hurt. and they were saying, how can he do to us? I mean, we were supporting. They were not supporting him at all. I mean, they were against him. They want him after the first game, the first 5 games. They want him out of the team. So
wow.
you have to go to that newscast and that news radio and got together with the ultras and trying to justify our position and their position. They want to be the bad guys that will force the team by telling them how they suck, and and expect them to do better. And then we're doing things a little different. It's just that.
I got to
You know
follow up
what?
to that because I know
Yeah,
Brian was
before you
going to
go
ask
on,
something.
there's something interesting because I used to have a press pass. Oh, I had a press pass for several years, and I remember that after that game, I went to the locker room, and Hermosillo was showing off the Golazo stone to like the reporters around his locker room, and I
Yeah,
thought that was really cool. He
yeah,
was like, "Yeah, look at this."
yeah. Well, when he
So
walked out of, when the team when the game ended up, he walked towards us and he threw his shirt and we threw him a Galaxian shirt. So he showed
Oh, I
press conference with the Galaxian shirt. So that hurts the other group too. I mean, but we have fun. That was I mean, we have more rivalry within our own team with the other group that we have with the San Jose team. Yeah, we had a better relationship with the fans in San Jose that we have with the ultras.
oh,
it's not like that
follow.
anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. No, it didn't last long. It didn't last long. Yeah.
Hey, Ozzy, do you have Hermosillo's contact information? We could borrow it right now for that stone for a certain
Yeah,
player on the team.
I see. I see that Chicharito maybe he will need to go and see him and see if he can borrow that stone. He needs to play for a few more games. Yeah.
All right. To me, the supporter group colors are beautiful. The Galaxians with the green and yellow, ACB with blue and white, the Riot Squad black and white, and the Outlaws with blue and gold. My question to you is, who came up with the color scheme, and were there other colors you guys considered?
Because we didn't know any better. The only thing that we knew at that time, and this is remember before the team was introduced. We already have those shirts before the team was introduced. The only thing that we knew at that time was the old Galaxy logo. Do you guys have a picture somewhere around there of the old Galaxy logo? So, yeah, main color gold
Oh,
and teal or green, whatever you want to call it. That color would be the secondary color. That was the color that we thought the team was going to wear after that. And I think they wear it in one season only, or maybe in an away jersey. They wear all gold with the teal letters. I don't know what year. It maybe 98 or 99. Yeah,
right.
but that's how we came up with the color,
So,
and it stuck. I mean, we're stuck with it. I mean, if you
well,
want to maintain a tradition, you want to maintain a loyalty to the color, loyalty to the team.
I'm glad. I'm glad that they stuck with it because now it's like really nostalgic. You know, the Galaxians maybe aren't as big as they once were, but you look over and then you
Yeah,
still see those old colors of yellow and teal. When everything has
yeah,
around has changed.
yeah.
But
It's
it's interesting how like sorry, it's just interesting how things come around. Since we're celebrating the 25th season, there's everybody's highlighting the old logo and the old colors and remembering, old times. You see the old games, that are being shown, the classic games, and people are showing an appreciation for the old uniforms and the logos. Which at the time, I remember people were like, "The heck kind of uniform is that? That
yeah,
logo is strange." But now
Yeah.
they become iconic.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And one of the things I always tell the group, sometimes the group it's not a big group. It's always been a very humble and small group, but they can be larger group, they be more colorful group, they be louder group. But there's gonna be only one group that's gonna be the first group, and nobody's gonna take that away from the Galaxians.
Damn right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Edgar,
I had a question for you. Sorry, guys. I had a question, which is a follow up on as far as the groups is concerned. You mentioned the relationship with the San Jose supporters, At the time, was there a network between all the different supporters groups? Was this something that had been established already, or was it still in its infancy?
Yeah, it was lightly. We got together a couple of times, and they got into our section. We went to their section on their tailgate, and we hung around with them the first few seasons. They came over our section, hung around with us, and then of course later on the rivalry grew, and we started hating each other, and we grew apart. Um, but yeah, we were connecting through the internet back then. I mean, we're talking about what 25 years ago, and we were already, using social media. It's incredible. What do we have there? I mean, you guys, some of you are older.
There was email. I remember Netscape Navigator was a thing to use.
AIM.
That's way too far. I got a personal question for Ozzy.
Yeah.
All right. So you've been around a long time. You've seen a lot of things. You had any, like, I don't want to say altercation, any kind of memorable moments you had with an opposing team or opposing fan base, that you can recall that, you look back and like, man, that was pretty cool. Soccer's arrived.
We always have things in a fun way, in a safe way. One year, we went to San Jose. I don't know if it was the first time or the second time, but we invaded their headquarters, the San Jose headquarters. First, we went to the yeah. First, we went to City Hall, and we started hanging around Galaxians things around City Hall, and this was on a weekend. So we felt safe. We took pictures all over the place, and then we went into the headquarters for the San Jose Earthquakes at that time. And so we got there. They have a van with their colors, so we wrapped their van with our banners and all stuff, and we walk into their office, and we start chanting, and we were received with with a smile and everything. We end up playing football on a table that they have in the hall. And then we left, and that's but never when the Galaxian system, when I was involved, we never have a serious altercation with the fans. And the most serious thing we have with the fans was that because of their fans, they took us out of the section that we always had when we were going to San Jose, which was around the 40-yard line. Okay, so you're watching the San Jose games, and the fan club that was more visible there was the Galaxians, because they were right in front of the camera, and so they felt a little bit hurt about it, and they told the front office just not to give us tickets in that area anymore. So we end up on another area, so the cameras will focus more on their team than on their fans than on us. Right?
Jerks.
The other thing at that time is that the camera, the people on TV, they didn't have much experience with that, so they didn't know which one was cheering for what team. So it might be San Jose will score a goal, and they were trying to read a reaction from our group, and we were.
I have a good question, actually.
Yeah.
Aside from San Jose supporter groups, who was the other team that you guys actually hated when they came into town? Or the supporter group that came into town, you're like, I hate them?
Well, naturally was DC United.
Yep.
The other team that we learned how to hate them was Tampa Bay, but that was after their team folded, because when we finally got the supporters trophy that what at that time. I don't know. Have you guys been the known or seen the original supporters trophy?
The
No.
original
we have it.
supporter shield.
The supporters shield. Yeah. We actually the supporter shield was bought by every group in the MLS, putting money and making their own trophy. So Tampa Bay won the trophy at that time, and the following year the Galaxy won the trophy, and we were supposed to go and play the final and with I believe it was DC United at that time in Foxborough, um, New England, and and before that we were supposed to have a ceremony where we were presenting the supporter shield to the team, and Tampa Bay they didn't want to send us the supporter shield. They said they felt betrayed because they were supporting so hard, and then their team folded. They got nothing to do with us, right? And this was 2001 because that team was basically formed by somebody with a lot of money during the time of the dot-com, era where everybody was making money out of nothing. And so they gave me the trophy in almost two pieces. I have to hold them together, have them to a ceremony, present the team with this, and hold it with both hands because it was fun. Sure, after that they just fell apart. We have to fix it up. And but that was a team that fortunately we didn't have much time to hate them because they just went away. But
Where is
it
where is
was
it now?
it wasn't a sick rivalry that it is right now. I mean, it wasn't that much. We got to remember the groups were small at that time. We're talking about thousands of people now. You go to Portland or Seattle, and they have a huge group there. And of course, there's going to be more people that will hate and will create more problems than we do, at that time.
Who'd have been the last team to get that trophy, that old supporter shield?
The old supported shield. Oh gosh, the I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It could probably be the Galaxy, the last one. Edgar, you might help me out on that. You have any
Yeah, I'm
idea?
trying to remember because at one point it was. I remember it was the base, and then the design was like a kind of like a chevron
Yeah,
going down.
yeah.
And then
Okay.
that concept was then used to create the more formal shield, which is presented now, which looks a lot like the one that the Bundesliga gives their champion.
Right. So the symbol in the middle of the supporter shield, right? That's what that used to be.
Yeah, that's the based off the original design of the shield, which was a base, and then the actual shield itself, which was
Nice.
like the chevron that you see in the middle of the current one. Um, I'm trying
Yeah.
to remember when the last one was presented. The last time it was presented, I can't think off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up. Uh,
Oh.
Hey, look it up. Give me a couple of minutes. I'll be right back. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So where
So
were we actually?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where were we?
oh, my shirt
What was
changed.
the last time? Oh yeah. Oh shit. Okay, Eddie, resume.
okay. I think Ozzy wanted to show us something, right? You guys are keep cutting him off. He's excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought you were going to show us something, Ozzy. I'm sorry about that.
No. Yeah. No, I was wanting to show. Remember this idea, Gordon?
Yeah, mine is somewhere in my parents' garage. We
Yeah.
used to wear those to gain access into the Galaxian area, which was called Area 51.
Yeah.
And as you were coming in, you would have to show that you had one before you were
Yeah.
allowed inside.
Yeah. But the funny thing is that it was all fake because we have absolutely no control with that.
Oh,
Yeah, we tell, hey, I'm sorry, well, you have to join the club if you want to be here, and they will join the club. Yeah, but yeah, it was funny. And the other thing is that some people will gain access to all the places by wearing that badge because the security and Roswell didn't know any better, and they thought they were some kind of official badge.
I'm about to try that one now.
Yeah. There were different times. Remember, we were all learning, and so.
I got a question actually. You know, you said different times, and nowadays with social media and everything, groups have gotten bigger. When it comes to traveling to away games, we get benefits like discounts if you use Alaska Airlines. They give us tickets to the game for free. Back then, did you guys have any help from the front office? Ooh.
Very little. I remember we organized one trip to San Jose one time, and we ran a raffle where we give them the winner will get the round trip flight to San Jose with the team and tickets to the game. But we got to do all those things on our own. Sometimes we were losing money. Sometimes we were losing money. I don't think we ever make any money. I remember the teams will give us tickets at a discount because of the group discounts. And we were adding maybe $1 more per ticket just to pay for whatever expenses we have at that time. But we never made any money. We did a few bucks when we have all those shirts being sold after the first year, but never again. I mean, and many of those bucks were coming out of my credit card.
Oh,
So my wife don't know.
I follow up with that. Did you guys? What's the longest trip did you guys do? Did you guys ever get together and just like jump in a van and let's drive across to New York or anything like that?
Wow.
No, we did a few of us. We did the finals in at Foxborough both times. The first time when we lost to DC, and the second time when we were champs. And
Oh wow!
I earned some pictures about that time where we had we got to celebrate with the team at the hotel after their win, and took I don't know if you can see.
Wow. I see the trophy.
Yeah.
Is that Kevin Hartman right there?
Who's that? No, that's me in the back.
Oh, okay.
With
Look
brown
at
hair.
that. A young Ozzy looks like Kevin Hartman.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And that's the old. Let me see if I can get the old.
It's the old Shield.
The old Shield.
Oh, nice.
That was when we won the old Shield the first time, and that's with Dan. The night before the final. And that was an exciting game because after 7 years of waiting for the Galaxy and many playoffs and many finals and never got it, and finally Pescadito scored that goal. I would still remember. I mean, the whole thing. When we were so excited, and it's difficult to express the feeling after supporting your team with so much passion for 7 years and getting almost at the end and never get it there, and finally that day we came camps for the first time. That was very.
Did you cry? I would have cried.
No, almost. Maybe I did. maybe. But it was a feeling like my blood dropped. It was incredible, and probably all the people that were there at that time will tell you the same thing, because we have a large group of Galaxians at that game that time. So we got like about 60 people. At that time, it was huge. I mean, have 60 people on a game across the country.
Oh yeah,
It was, yeah.
with little help.
Yeah. And we have a little help from locals too. Yeah. Same thing in San
Nice.
Jose. We have a group, a fan base in San Jose that were pretty strong, about 30, 40 people that will show up at any Galaxy game with us.
Nice.
That's awesome. To me, one of the best things that I love going to the stadium, and one of the things that I like seeing from supporter groups, is the chants, the songs that they do, and how they interact with the drums and all that. Which one was the first Galaxian song you guys ever did, or chant? And can you sing it to us?
You know what? I tried to remember. I don't think we ever had one. But we always tell, yeah, I don't remember one. You're not gonna you're not gonna hear me chanting. No. No, I bang the drums.
Nice.
He's the drummer, not a singer.
No, but I don't remember. I truly don't remember anything, any specific chant. Do you remember anything?
I'm trying to remember. There's always the basic Galaxy chant, which is the like Galaxy.
Yeah.
Like I remember that from the first year, but I don't remember when was the first time I heard it. It might have been at the first game, but I remember there was so much going on in that first game, and the crowd was so massive that it might have been lost in the mix.
Ole, ole, ole.
That was another one too. That was a relic from the '94 World Cup. The ole, ole, ole. Yeah.
But we were chanting. If not chanting, we were saying things to the players that were going to take him off of that. So I remember Tony Meola. Every time every time we were making fun of him from being heavy, right? So every time there was a goal kick, he would set the ball down, and he would start backing up, and then we go beep beep.
Oh, that's classic. I love that.
Yeah.
Hey, Ozzy. I had a question for you, Ozzy.
Yeah.
One of the things I tell people about how the team was back then was that it was just different. And remember, things changed when Beckham came over, and a lot of people, might see that as a negative. Some people might see it as, the team maturing. But before all that happened, when we were at the Rose Bowl, I remember there was always an interesting relationship between the players and the supporters, particularly the Galaxians. And the nightlife on Colorado Boulevard. I mean, after the games, I remember there were a few times I would go after the games. I would go to Moose McGillicuddy's, which is no longer around. I would go to Q's, which is no longer around. And you would run into the players. Or there was that Italian restaurant on Fair Oaks, I think it was. And sometimes the team would invite us, and we would go and we would spend time with the players there. And it was a lot different than anything we have now, right?
Yeah, actually, Ron Acosta will be the person that will give us the clue where the team was going to be at, because those establishments will want the teams and everybody that will come with teams to go to their place, because we were spending money. So they will tell us where the team was going to be. So my wife and I will go all the way to Chino, drop off our kids that were young teenagers at that time. We'll drop off the kids there. We'll go back to Pasadena, and we'll party and go and shoot pool sometimes with the players until 2 a.m. And it was very common just to go there and see the players and hang around with the players, take a few pictures. we never were that obnoxious with the players, being bugging the players all the time. There were other people that were more. So we respect them. We given their space. So because after the game, especially when you lose a game, and you don't want to talk to a player when or taking pictures with a player when they lose a game, right? They're all pissed off, and we're pissed off too. So, but. But we had a good relationship. It was like a family thing. Everybody knew their spot within where they were supposed to be. We were fans. They were players. There were all the people that would bug them around, but we were never that obnoxious with the players. And of course, came in, and that changed the whole thing. Yeah, that. I don't.
Most of
Yeah, go ahead.
most important question: did a brother ever let you drive his Ferrari?
No. I actually at that time, that's when proms, without proms and family things came around, and we have to stop going to the games. So we went to a few games after that, but I was off the group at that time. So I never got to see him or know him personally. No, and play pool. No. But with yeah, Jorge Campos, Hermosillo was a different story. Hermosillo was a little more to himself. He wasn't the person to go to a bar. Of course, he was older and mature, and he has his own family. Same thing with Cienfuegos. He wasn't. But all the other young players that would like to hang around, go to bars, and have a drink or two, were there in Old Town Pasadena at that time. Nice time. Yeah. I miss those times.
Seeing how you guys were one of the originals, and you yourself were one of the first presidents of one of the first supporter groups. What are your feelings of how it's been since you started to how it is now? How we have 4 supporter groups on both ends of the. How do you feel about does it make you happy to see a lot of
Yeah,
support like that?
definitely. I don't see. Yeah, I understand that everybody wants to have their own support group. I understand that they don't want to have their philosophy. When the Riot Squad it started with some people that were in our group. They separated when they formed their group, and they were more European type of fans. I believe. I don't know if they still are, but. Uh, I'm happy that there are many players, many supporters. I'm very happy. I mean, this is nice. It's really nice. I never thought. I thought it was going to be more. It will take longer, even though it takes a very long time. But it will take longer to draw so many people around the country for the teams, especially in the Galaxy. I don't know why they have to go and create their own group and not joining another group. Uh, you can ask the same question about religion, right? um, but I'm happy that there are many fans. The thing that I still bugs me a little bit, and maybe this is a good way to point it out, or good medium to point it out, is that it seems that the group, they go over there to have fun. They chant, and they don't pay really much the attention that needs the game and the team to get from the fans. Reaction when a player is being hit or is being fouled. I don't see those reactions. I see more reaction from the general public than I see from the fans. Somebody can be knocked down to the floor, and everybody will say, "Oh wow!" But the fans will keep chanting. So are they looking into what's going on in the game, or they're just having fun? And I understand chanting is great, Well, I need to get involved a little more in the game itself. Okay, because that's how you influence the referee, how you influence the teams and the opponents, and how you put pressure on the opponents to play on an away game. So I hope that will change with time.
Not till you come back.
Huh?
Oh,
You gotta
before we
come
go,
back.
you have to tell the story about the brujo that they brought to the stadium
Yeah,
that one time.
yeah.
Tell us
No,
about the brujo. That was funny. I remember that.
the brujo. I don't know what happened with the brujo. The brujo. I mean, yeah, the witch doctor. We're talking about. He was there for I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years, and then he disappeared. I don't know what happened with him. I heard
Back to parts
a few years.
unknown.
Huh?
I said back to parts unknown.
Who knows? Yeah, maybe he went to. Who knows? Maybe he wasn't real. There was a lot of strings. And maybe who knows? But he was a very colorful person too. I mean, he gave me as a gift this long stick with a knife at the end, with some ribbons around it, and it was supposed to be something for me to keep, and I have it somewhere in the garage. But yeah, and they will have the brujo going around the field too sometimes. Something like that.
Oh, wow, that's crazy, man. I think we're gonna need all the help we can get this year. Brujo,
Who knows?
Golazo Stone, all that.
We need you
Yeah,
to come back, Ozzy.
yeah.
And awesome.
Oh man, I'm planning to. My retirement age is coming sooner than expected. If this thing is going on, so who knows? Maybe next year will be the day that I'm coming back. Let's see how Chicharito does.
Hey.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't need the Golazo Stone. So in fact, with Hermosillo. I think Hermosillo is a director of sports director for the government. It's some government official
I had
in
no idea.
sports.
Huh.
No idea. Well, Ozzy,
Yeah,
I want to thank you for being on here with us, man. Amazing stories. I can only wish I could have been there. But unfortunately, I was too young.
yeah, and yeah.
uh,
For having
but
me. It's
yeah,
good.
of course. Of course, every time we walk into the stadium, the atmosphere has changed. We've all been there from very early on, some of us from 96. Even Spenny, who hasn't said much, came in like 2005, and he can tell you that it has changed. And we have to say thank you again, because if it wasn't for like people like you, Linda Pickle, and everyone involved with the Galaxians, this wouldn't have been possible. As far as I'm concerned, and every Galaxy fan should be concerned, you guys are part of the history. And if it wasn't for you guys, the fan base would be nowhere near where it's at now.
Well, I think thank you very much. Humble about that, and thank you guys for having me here.
Yeah, of course, and we can't wait to see you in the stadium again. If it's not this year, because of what's going on, hopefully we see you next year, and for sure we're gonna be there while you're beating those drums.
All right, all right, all right.
Thank you again for joining us, Ozzy. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. I feel like you're like a historical treasure to the LA Galaxy, much like Linda Pickle is a historian. Your contributions to the team and to me personally as a friend are deeply appreciated. And I think it's awesome that we got you on here because people need to reconnect with the past with this team. This team has a wonderful history. There's only one other sport that I can think of where they curate the history very well, and that's baseball. Baseball does a wonderful job of curating its history, and I think in soccer with MLS, we need to do the same thing, and we need to bring up figures and people and moments that we can then pass on, not just through oral history, but have recorded and to share with people so they can understand the importance and the sacrifice that people made in the early years of this league.
Thank you, Edgar. I appreciate very kind words of you. And please let me show that the flaming carrot. And okay, show the. Put your head down a little bit so we can see it.
Your hat. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I gotta
It's
remember
the
that.
Twizzler.
Yeah,
And my
thank
hair
you.
is all crazy from the quarantine. There you go.
Oh man, that was funny. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you so much, Ozzy. Thank you for being with us.